Hi Gemini, and welcome to your mid-April general reading. So I'd like to take an opportunity just to wish that all my viewers are safe from harm, that those that you love are safe from harm, and that all beings are safe from harm. Left hand on heart, Gemini, it's so effective, and it's so effective when we pray for the well-being of all beings. Sorry, I'm actually quite quiet. What I'm doing is I'm asking my cards, because when I'm doing these readings I have to be very, very mindful, because the last thing I want to pass on is fear and catastrophe. So I'm particularly guiding the cards towards soul lessons and how to navigate this period. And I hope you're okay with that. It's nothing to do with spiritual bypassing. That's not what I do, Gemini, in any shape or form. But I almost feel that I have a little bit of a spiritual obligation to not pass on trauma. Isn't that funny? You got the peace card. One of my favourite cards. It comes about when it's almost like seeking stops and we arrive at this place where, as much as possible, it's very much like focusing on the breath, yeah. And left hand on heart, it's so effective when you ask for all beings to be happy. May I be happy and safe. May all beings be happy and safe. Literally, prayer is so deeply effective for your well-being. So, not sure what that means to you, Gemini, but let's have a look at the 6 cards. Everyone's getting 6 cards. I'm trying to think of the rest of the other air signs. Most people are getting the same, because people are either frontline doing helping jobs, or the other people are in isolation. You know, whatever you're doing, Gemini, my heart to your heart, may you be well. So 6 cards, please. And please use this to guide Gemini how to navigate this cycle. Venus is in Gemini, so might be some new relationship dynamics for some of you. The Fool behind you. The Gift of Grace. Absolutely stunning. Oh, beautiful. The Challenge is 10 of Pentacles, so maybe a little bit of financial worries. The Sun showing up as other people's energy. The Star card is underneath the Lover's card. You're getting so many major arcanas. Major arcanas are events beyond our control. They're cities, they're soul qualities, they're lessons. We all begin as the Fool. And if we live a good and happy life, we end as the Fool. And really, the Fool is about the new beginning, the new start. The Star card with the Lovers, very, very outstanding. This would be Aquarius, the Star card. But the Star card represents grace. Grace is the highest, one of the highest principles, spiritual principles that we can call upon. Okay? If anyone's been ill, the Star card is about remission. But the Star card is about transparency. It's about being open, being vulnerable, sharing yourself. And it's your gift, and it's underneath the Lover's card, and it's almost, in the Sun card is other people's energy. So the Sun illuminates, it brings clarity. And when, you know, when the sun comes out and you're walking down the road and you start to remove your layers, the sun is about warmth. And warmth causes people to put down their boundaries and open up to this tremendous light. Boy, you know who else got reading this? Gemini, was it Leo? So the Fool behind you, this can be showing up in so many ways, but it's, the Fool's always an energy of, when all this passes, this is how I'm going to live my life. That's the energy that I'm picking up, because universally, Gemini, We're all, human beings are all the same. And there's a lot of processing going on for people, particularly about the meaning of their lives. And Venus is going to spend a very long time in Gemini, and the North Node is going into Gemini. Okay, so that is, all attention is going to be on your sign. And yes, the lungs are ruled by Gemini. So is communication, connection, connecting the dots, expressing your ideas. So, I mean, even though we're going to be in, a lot of us are going to be in isolation, the connections between us as we move into this age of Aquarius, it's the humanity, the links, the communication between us is going to get even stronger. And there you've got the beautiful star card as your gift. You know, the star card and probably the Ace of Cups are, and probably the Sun, it's really about blessings, receiving them. And we need to be able to receive them, because if your cup is full, you cannot receive this divine energy pouring through your body. And because the Fool's behind you, some of you have left behind like the Ten of Wands, and you're beginning to enter into this brand new phase. I mean, all attention is going to be on Gemini over the next, probably the next 18 months, because of the nodal change. The challenge is the Ten of Pentacles, so there might be a tiny little bit of financial issues. The Tens are completion cards, so it's really financially secure. Maybe there's a sense of not quite having enough, not feeling that prosperous or abundant. It'd be hard if any of us actually felt that way at the moment. So that's the thing. There's universal themes that we're all going through. Try and connect with these beautiful major arcanas, because our future will be created in how we're using this energy at the moment. And if you use this energy to open up to grace, you're going to have a future based on grace, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's okay if you go into fear, go into scarcity. It's almost like a wave, and it comes up and it comes down. But the Star card with the Lover's card is about opening up in a relationship. For some of you, if it's not a relationship, it's that fork in the road. And because it's a fork in the road, it's almost like waiting for inspiration, waiting for guidance, because it's an act of grace that causes us to be led on our soul path. It's an act of grace that always guides us. So being open to this grace, sometimes it's just saying, may grace come into my life today. May grace guide me about the right road to walk down, the right pathway to follow. If this is a relationship, may grace be in this relationship. May only love be here. May only grace be here. I had a situation a few days ago, really getting me down. And I just said it 3 times really loudly. With the power of grace, I get this energy to leave my life and for a new energy to come in. And does it work? It's incredibly powerful. We need patience. We need to be open to it. We need to command it. And the Queen of Wands is very much this energy about commanding, not demanding. Demanding is a small ego part of us. The Queen of Wands commands. So a classic example of these cards would be, I command, if this is a relationship, I command only the transparent, loving, open part of this relationship. And I release everything that was buried, that was hidden, that was rotten. So I start to use the Queen of Wands to command grace to enter into my life. The most effective prayer you'll ever use. And you can word it the way that you want to. Especially when a Gemini. That's what you rule. You rule words. You rule this power. But the Queen of Wands here is about commanding. She might be a person. It's not gender specific. Even in my private readings, nothing's gender specific. The Queen of Wands isn't the most active energy, and a lot of her activities are held back. So the Queen manages and honours her life force, because there's nothing in this world that is not energy. And when we learn to master this energy, we begin to become the real royal family. We become spiritual adults. And this is about power. This is about owning grace, commanding only the best to be in your life. Now, I'm not doing a best and a negative. I don't really believe in that, by the way. But it's okay to want openness. It's okay to want warmth. It's okay to want a certain way to live your life. I don't think we were born on this earth to struggle and struggle and struggle. And I think for some of you, and I am not for the life of me, I am not doing any spiritual bypassing. I do not believe in it. In fact, I am getting a lot of people to sit down and honour their fears and honour their grief, because it's only when you truly feel something do you get to be open to the Star card, to be open to grace. Yeah? And sometimes we need to sit and rub our belly and allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt. And in fact, Gemini, I would say you clearly are, or you would not be getting these cards. Anything more about the Queen of Wands? I'm almost expecting a hermit with it. No, you get some sort of victory. Six of Wands is a card of success and victory. It comes after the Five of Wands, which is angst. Angst is this feeling of staring into the void, staring into the unknown, and being very, very uptight about it. It's one of these cards that are probably very much a card of the year. But when the Six of Wands has appeared, there's been some huge victory over a part of yourself, Gemini. And we're all struggling, our soul qualities towards those part of ourselves that feel fear. That is the human struggle, by the way. And it seems to me that what you're doing here, Gemini, is you're allowing your soul to shine forward, and you're beginning to command that that's the only energy that you meet. So, I mean, these cards alone, you could use these two cards alone to completely transform your life. And this is how, again, we command grace. And we command grace to bring this illumination into our relationships. We command grace that you and other people begin to lower the defenses between each other. We open our hearts, we connect. And that's what the Star card is, because it's about connection. Air rules connection. I'm an air sign, yeah? So this is about connection based on openness and transparency. And I think that Queen of Wands is using, it's like, I've given you plenty of examples, but just commanding a certain amount of authority, commanding to be met in a certain way, to be met with love, to be met with love, to be met with dignity, to be met with honour. Bit powerful, Gemini. So why is the Ten of Pentacles a challenge? Everyone's pentacles are being the challenge, including mine. So, Ten of Wands. So you have got the Ten of Wands. So it looks like there's a little bit of struggle around the finances. Okay. Some of these might be working really hard. to try and keep this Ten of Pentacles. Some of you are worried because the Ten of Wands can be all the things that we've learnt, all the fears from the past that we're still carrying. Both of these are completion cards, and they are the challenge, which means there's something that's not fully resolved yet, and I think it's probably to do with work and finances. Outstanding reading, by the way. There've been a right mixed bag, but I am absolutely, because I cannot. And that's what command in the star card, that's what I'm working with every day. I cannot take on every single person's catastrophic. So by asking the cards to send soul messages, there's a sort of protection going on for the reader, but also for you. Okay, Gemini, lots of love, guys. Bye.